by Swami Vivekananda. Chapter Qualifications of the Aspirant and the Teacher. Bhagwan Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story of some men who went into a mango orchard and busied themselves in counting the leaves, the twigs, and the branches, examining their color, comparing the size, and noting down everything most carefully, and then got up a learned discussion on each of these topics, which were undoubtedly highly interesting to them. But one of them, more sensible than the others, did not care for all these things, and instead thereof began to eat the mango fruit. And was he not wise? So leave this counting of leaves and twigs and note taking to others. This kind of work has its proper place, but not here in the spiritual domain. You never see a strong spiritual man among these leaf counters. Religion, the highest aim, the highest glory of man, does not require so much labor. If you want to be a bhakta, it is not at all necessary for you to know whether Krishna was born in Mathura or says in Braja what he was doing, or just the exact date on which you pronounce the teachings of the Gita. You only require to feel the craving for the beautiful lessons of beauty and love in the Gita. All other particulars about it and its author are for the enjoyment of the learned. Let them have what they desire. Shanti, Shanti, peace, peace to the learned controversies, and let us eat the mangoes. The second condition necessary in the teacher is sinliness. The question is often asked, why should we look into the character and person of a teacher? We have only to judge of what he says and take that up. This is not right. If a man wants to teach me something of dynamics or chemistry or any other physical science, he may be anything he likes, because what the physical sciences requires merely an intellectual equipment. But in the spiritual sciences, it is impossible from first to last that there can be any spiritual light in the soul that is impure. What religion can an impure man teach? The sine qua non of acquiring spiritual truth for oneself or for imparting it to others is the purity of heart and soul. A vision of God or a glimpse of the beyond never comes until the soul is pure. Hence, with the teacher of religion, we must see first what he is and then what he says. He must be perfectly pure, and then alone comes the value of his words, because he is only then the true transmitter. What can he transmit if he has no spiritual power in himself? There must be the worthy vibration of spirituality in the mind of the teacher, so that it may be sympathetically conveyed to the mind of the thought. The function of the teacher is indeed an affair of the transference of something, and not one of mere stimulation of the existing intellectual or other faculties in the thought. Something real and appreciable as an influence comes from the teacher and goes to the thought. Therefore, the teacher must be pure. The third condition is in regard to the motive. The teacher must not teach with any ulterior selfish motive for money, name, or fame. His work must be simply out of love, out of pure love for mankind at last. The only medium is through which spiritual force can be transmitted is love. Any selfish motive, such as the desire for gain or for fame, will immediately destroy this conveying medium. God is love, and only he who has known God as love can be a teacher of godliness and God to man. When you see that in your teacher these conditions are all fulfilled, you are safe. If they are not, it is unsafe to allow yourself to be taught by him, for there is a great danger that if he cannot convey goodness to your heart, he may convey wickedness. This danger must by all means be guarded against. He who is learned in the scriptures, sinless, unpolluted by lust, and is the greatest knower of the Brahman, is the real teacher. From what has been said, it naturally follows that we cannot be taught to love, appreciate, and estimate religion everywhere and by everybody. The sermons in stones, books in the running brooks, and good in everything is all very true as a political figure, but nothing can impart to a man a single grain of truth unless he has the undeveloped germs of it in itself. To whom do the stones and brooks preach sermons? To the human soul, the lotus of whose inner holy shrine is already quick with life, and the light which causes a beautiful opening out of this lotus comes always from the good and wise teacher. When the heart has thus been opened, it becomes fit to receive teaching from the stones or the brooks, the stars or the sun or the moon, or from anything which bursts existence in a divine universe. But the unopened heart will see in them nothing but mere stones or mere brooks. A man may go to a museum, but he will not profit by it in any way. His eyes must be opened first, and then alone he will be able to learn what the things in the museum can teach. This eye-opener of the aspirant after religion is the teacher. With the teacher, therefore, relationship is the same as that between an ancestor and his descendant. Without faith, humility, submission, and veneration in our heart towards a religious teacher, there cannot be any growth of religion in us, and it is a significant fact that where this kind of relation and between the teacher and the taught prevails, there alone gigantic spiritual men are growing. While in those countries which have neglected to keep us this kind of relation, the religious teachers become a mere lecturer, the teacher expecting his $5 and the person taught expecting his brain to be filled with the teacher's words, and each going his own way after this much has been done. Under such circumstances, spirituality becomes almost an unknown quantity. There is none to transmit it and none to have it transmitted to. Religion with such people becomes business. They think they can obtain it with their dollars. Would to a God that religion could be obtained so easily, but unfortunately it cannot be. Religion, which is the highest knowledge and the highest wisdom, cannot be bought nor can it be acquired from books. You may thrust your head into all the corners of the world. You may explore the Himalayas, the Alps, and the Caucasus. You may sound the bottom of the sea and pry into every note of Tibet and the desert of Gobi. You will not find it anywhere until your heart is ready for receiving it, and your teacher has come. And when that divinely appointed teacher comes, serving him with childlike confidence and simplicity, freely open your heart to his influence and see in him God manifested. Those who come to seek truth with such a spirit of love and veneration, to them the Lord of Truth reveals the most beautiful, wonderful things regarding truth, goodness, and beauty.